Let's get to the mail. The subject, the first one's from Jonathan. This is a weird email because I actually have seen Raw, but I'll read this. Okay, atrocious Raw segment. Salutations, K100 crew. During commercial break of Monday Night Football, I flipped over to Raw. Sounded like Bret Hart's music came on, but unfortunately it was not Natalia. This brought on the same energy as going to see Bill Burr, but Bill Body is on stage instead. That's interesting. That's a funny line there, actually. I have to admit, this had to be one of the worst segments I've ever saw. That's how he spelled it. Natalia came down to face Piper McMuffin, who was legit. I think there'd be more cheering from a doctor giving you a cancer diagnosis than there was in the crowd for this hot garbage. It was more stale than the chips K-Dog gives out to guests at his house for Christmas holidays. Did you guys see the segment? Hopefully it wasn't on Hulu for Disco. True. And if so, what are your thoughts for the crowd's bathroom break segment? Thanks, Jonathan S. Jonathan S., we'll be speaking about this in the Raw review. Okay, so don't ask about, did you see the segment on Raw? So yes, we see all the segments on Raw, except for the ones that don't make it on Hulu, and we talk about that in the review. So I will.
And just so you know, Jonathan, I do have some stale chips and candies, and we'll be getting some eggnog for this year's festivities. There's a couple people that need to be taught a lesson.
This is an interesting story. I've never seen this. This is from Travis, subject is TK TV bill. People talk about Tony Khan's wealth, but while battling NXT, it seems in Jackson in his stadium, he hasn't paid his TV bill. As seen below, someone there took a pic of TV that says "Pay your bill." Either he has no money or he has money and not paying bills, which creates a bad reputation. You don't see this with WWE. And, pull the link up, Joe. There's a tweet. It says,
"Yeah, it's on the screen there."
Bad look inside the Jaguar Stadium today. Many of the the TVs. Okay, so in Jaguar Stadium, like
right.
I guess in the suites or like in the thing, that they didn't pay their cable bill.
Right. But I don't think Tony pays that bill. He's like
that's hardly
or something. Yeah.
Whoever like Tony
right.
Khan is the guy that gets all the bills.
Yeah.
He's like writing checks at his desk.
Right.
Like, come on. It's like who would think that?
Bro,
right?
but here's
like,
the
Tony
thing.
Khan's
Here's
actually
the thing,
responsible
bro.
for the bill payment, not a county.
Right. But Tony has so much heat right now that people would just with him incessantly, and they're trolling on him because he sells it, and that's why they're on him even worse.
Yeah, right. Bro, he's learning. I wonder if he'll ever learn. Bro, you can't sell.
He will learn. You have no other choice. Either learn or get out.
Right.
Yeah.
Small Town America Reactions is the name of the account. Small Town America. This is with the apostrophe. Subject is Cody Rhodes. Hello, Cody and Disco. Big fan of the show and you both. It's my first time writing in your show, and I have a question for you both. Seems WWE is heading in the direction of Cody Rhodes eventually be the one to dethrone Roman. My problem with that is, where do they go from there? Cody's a white meat babyface, but there's not much else there as far as character, which is the very thing that got Roman over after being shoved down the fans' throat as a babyface. Of course, the story is finishing the story for his dad, the American Dream, but Cody's presentation is more like Ric Flair as far as the flashy suits and ring gear. Not to mention he's the moniker of the American Nightmare. My question is, do you think it would be better for him to have the title run as a face, or do you think it would be better turning heel? My idea is to bring up Braun Breaker and Brian Pillman Jr. to the main roster and go on a heel run as a new version of Legacy. Oh, God. Like a new faction? Like, that's a Rod Rose from Pikeville, Kentucky. I don't know, bro. I'm not, I don't like looking forward ahead to like what's going to happen, and if they give the title to Cody, what are you going to do after that? I just like to follow these storylines as they commence every week. Like right now, the WWE, the first two shows of the year on Raw and SmackDown, are doing good soap opera storytelling. Like you don't know where they're going with Drew McIntyre and the Bloodline Jay. It's just like they're doing. Everybody's holding true to character right now, and that's all I'm asking for. I'm not prognosticating the future. Like what if Cody was champion? Of course, Cody can be champion. That show's not going to falter. Like this, it doesn't matter who's the champion. It just matters how good the storytelling is, and how often people want to tune in. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me add this. Number one, he's a white meat baby face, but he's I think he said he had no character, right? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
I guess, yeah.
Well, it's in front of you. Just look at it real quick.
Yeah, he said he said he's a white meat baby face. There's not much else there as a character.
I disagree. he's got a huge character. He's a guy that was in that system. They gave him a superhero gimmick that didn't work. The son of a legend, the brother of a wrestler, and now he's come back after being in the competition. And I thought WWE was very smart and not to give him the title too quick, because the journey is half the fun. So you're going on this journey with him to do something his dad never did. Who, by the way, they also made it fun of his dad with the polka dot. So people that know the backstory is like, there's something there. There is no reason to turn him heel right now. He's super hot.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Not only is he, from the shows I've been to live, amazingly over as a babyface, but he has a connection with older fans because of his dad and because he's good. But also, I see a lot of kids that are, big fans of Cody, wearing the shirts and all that. So he's pretty over. He's pretty well over at this point.
Right. Next is from Kenneth Gainwell, running back for the Philadelphia Eagles. The subject is Disco is over. Relax after matches Sting. Hey guys, I grew up watching Disco and Conan. They were two of my favorites in WCW. My question is, did Disco have any other big time offers other than WCW? The British folk of Wrestle Me, very solid Mark podcast, as well as the King of Mark podcasts, OSW Review, always put Disco over as being great as his character and loving every time he's in the ring. With Disco being bigger than 95% of the AEW roster today, does he feel like he was born in the wrong era? Also, other than hard, how did you guys relax after a match back in the day to recover? Was just pop a call it a day? I'm genuinely curious. What's Sting like backstage? Because I can see him being a bit tough to work with, considering he's not exactly a huge wrestling fan. Do you have any liberties jobbing to Vampiro? And thank you guys in Fly Eagles Fly. Fans since day one. Kenneth Gainwell, currently of Philadelphia.
What up, dog?
The second string running back for the Philadelphia Eagles, supposedly. No, I wasn't born in the wrong era. Are you kidding me? Our era was like blows this era away. So I'm glad that I got to wrestle. That will and the history will show. I wrestled during the greatest time in the history of professional wrestling. During that era, the late '96 through 2000 will go down as easily the best era of wrestling. Just Soma's and a couple beers after the match to relax. That I never did anything else really. And Sting backstage was is super laid back, very low key, very polite, cool, just a cool dude. You got any more comment on this, Conan?
Yeah, he wasn't tough to work with at all. Incredibly cool, nice guy. One of my favorite guys in the backstage.
Can't really say a bad thing about the guy by the way he behaved.
No.
Yeah.
And let me just say real quick that Kenneth, he mentioned the British wrestling podcast or YouTubes. He's right about OSW. That's extremely popular. And then I wanted to put over Wrestling Bios. Also sounds like a British guy. And he did a really good one about Disco's WCW career. Actually, I'm pretty sure you've seen it or people have sent it to you a million times. But he's good too.
I don't care.
I know.
Next is Greg Treeville. The subject is Max Moon Explained. Hello, K100. Love the show. Coney, you're looking great. Disco, love the opinions. And Joe, well, you're Joe. Keep on being on the same level as replacement level player. Interesting. So basically, Coney, you know the baseball statistic WAR, the WAR.
Yeah.
It's the thing is wins above replacement.
Right.
Meaning like how much more are you to your team above like the average player? And this guy's saying that Joe is the average, like the replacement level player. Like
I wouldn't disagree with that.
My question is about Max Moon. Conan said in a previous show, and there were big plans for him as Max Moon, but he's making too much money in Mexico at the time. He decided to make the full jump to WWF. How does he feel it would have went? What feuds did he have in line? IC title? Does Conan think it could have worked for multiple years? Does he think that turning down Max Moon cost him from signing with WWE after WCW closed? Also, random question, but whatever happened to Super Calo? I always liked the guy's style and gimmick, but it was way very 90s. Did he turn out to be AAA champ? How is he outside the ring? Thank you always. That's from Greg the Tree Man. You can answer these, Conan.
Well, yes, if I think it would have went well. I think it would have went well because I think anything I've ever done in wrestling, I've made it work. What feuds did they have in line? The only one that I remember is they were going to have me wrestle Louis Spicoli. Was that his name there?
Yeah. It was Louis Spicoli, and then years later they called him Rad Radford. But
yeah. So I knew I was going to do something with him. And do I think that What did he say that doing the Max Moon cost
How-
me signing with WWE or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
did
that hurt,
you
yeah.
not did quit doing it cost you signing them later on? Signing them
I
later on.
believe so. Yes, 100%.
Interesting.